Hello guys, Steven here. Welcome to this video. So for this video, we're gonna do a recap for the current rounders that's been happening in the last 1 or 2 weeks. And as you notice, that the market is kind of losing its liquidity, and a lot of tickers are pretty much dropping without any type of volume. So in this type of market environment, we want to focus on how to really size in with the correct size, and also to be really careful with getting stuck with really low liquidity and getting short squeezed into a hole, because the liquidity is really low. So normally you see the spread is pretty large. So that will be the main focus for today. And other than that, we have a new content that's been going to be released in February. So the pre-sale is on right now. It's going to be a really short time to get a discount, and make sure to check the link below, and let's get into the video. So today we have PGY, MVIV, and AMPX. Those are the three tickers that's been running in the last couple of days. AMPX, this is one of the IPO runners. Typically when you see an IPO runners, they do run several days whenever they are performing consistently downtrending. Whenever you see that pretty new IPO within 6 months and it's been downtrending the last month or two, and the first green day typically follow with the second green day. That's the typical IPO runners. And as you can see, that majority of the first green day held pretty well and did a large squeeze into the close. And today there wasn't any volume in the pre-market, so it had some type of consolidations today. So this will be a potential short tomorrow. Overall, it's not up that much, roughly about 50%, so 50%-ish. And since the market is pretty low, it's okay to size into this consolidations, risking a little bit, but not worth the size at all. If you borrowed with, I would say, pretty expensive borrow fees, then you can size in a little bit to make it back. That's for AMPX. We have PGY. This is another one of the tickers that's been running for a long time, and this is the rough type of multi-day runners. You can see this one went from 70 cents to 7.5. It went up about 1,000%, but when it finished it running, it didn't really trade high liquidity. Only it's pretty much neutralizing in the $6 area. The way I mean neutralizing is the stock is not trading any type of volume and it's not going anywhere. So typically when the stock is neutralizing, it's not forming resistance. It's basically that the buyers and sellers are meeting in the agreeable price a certain period amount of time. So if there's not much volume being traded, that means not many people are purchasing and selling in the same price. That does not trap enough back orders for the stock to drop. So for PGY, this one slowly faded. That's why when you see the high of the multi-day runners, if they're not trapping enough volume, when they start to fade, it's really difficult to get an entry. First of all, the volume is really low, so it's hard to size in a decent size. Second of all is that when it fades to the 50% mark, there's a really high chance for the stock to bounce back. So overall reward, it takes several days. That means you have to pay a couple of days of borrow fees and plus interest, and also the 50% mark, it's likely to bounce really high, and you also don't have enough volume to cover your shorts. So overall, for shorting on these type of I would say neutralized multi-day runner, it's pretty difficult. Another I would say a profitable opportunity that's in the last 2 weeks, it's MVIV. This one I didn't really catch it. You had a gap up after hours into the resistance. Personally, I was going to sizing at the open, but did an offer in the pre-market. This one, it was heading into resistance around 13, which is right here. 32 million resistance, that's about $300 million block. It's pretty good, ideal, and the float is 1.5 million, so it's worth the trade, but it's still micro float. Needs to be careful with the morning push, but this is actually a decent opportunity for people to catch. But unfortunately, it did a offering right before the open, so then there's no way to size into this ticker. But for those last 2 weeks, there is probably I would say ideal 3 tickers that's being, I would say, tradable. not worth it to size enough size except MVIV. Other than that, that'll be the recap for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and make sure to check the link below, and I will see you guys in the next video.